Here are your General Hospital spoilers for Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Good news, GH fans! Our favorite soap will definitely be back tomorrow, so we finally get to see what should have happened on Tuesday to end the week. And even more good news, this won't happen again next year. When we last left our Port Charles pals, James had gotten off the elevator to meet his dad, Veronica had just had a run-in with Tracy, and Rick had escaped his basement prison. On Friday, Nathan and James come face-to-face for the first time, if that is indeed Nathan or some version of him. James is apprehensive when he meets his presumed dead father, but not as apprehensive as Britt, who seems to know that the man in that bed is not the Nathan she is used to. Veronica Ronny Bard heads straight to the hospital memorial wall after her confrontation with Tracy in the Quartermain crypt. She ends up running into Sonny, and they become fast friends. Sonny is fascinated to learn that Monica had a sister he never knew about. Back at the crypt, Michael and Tracy discuss Drew's shooting, where Michael tells his aunt to go to the police if she is so sure he is lying. Tracy will do no such thing. Instead, she wants to talk about Michael's legacy. She seems to think he will inherit it all. Meanwhile, Anna is doing everything she can to solve this shooting mystery, including questioning Carly. An incredulous Carly tells Anna to start questioning suspects who are not so obvious. Alexis is ready to read that will the next day, but first she has a situation at home. She lies down on her couch for a nap, only to find Rick above her with a dagger to her neck when she wakes. It's a good thing Ava is a fixture in Alexis' house now and ends up with good timing. Is she about to put Rick back in the basement with a ball gag in his mouth? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. General Hospital is about to heat up in October as the weather cools down. New couples and potential couples are everywhere, so let's dig in and see what's in store. While it appears that Portia is about to learn she is pregnant, she doesn't seem to want her new romance with Isaiah to fall by the wayside. According to Swoon, Portia and Isaiah plan a romantic getaway. But will her new condition get in the way? How will Portia contain herself knowing she is pregnant and not knowing who the father is, since she had sex with her husband days before she had sex with Isaiah? Might they plan a getaway to the cabin Lucky gave Isaiah before Portia uses her test stick? Jason may be in mourning for his mother, but that doesn't mean she can't try to have a better new life. It's what Monica would have wanted, after all. To that end, Jason spends some more time with Britt and presents her with a surprise. Considering the fact that the britch is back and seems to now be Britt's default setting again, will it be a welcome surprise? Meanwhile, Sonny continues to flirt with Justine Turner, something he has been doing for months. Will he finally wear her down? It looks like Rick is going to be back in his basement prison soon enough, so what else can he do to pass the time except dream? As expected, Rick dreams of Elizabeth, although she is not dreaming of him. Will she ever realize that his claims of being on a digital detox seem odd? We can see Liz being the one to rescue Rick, until she learns he was blackmailing Alexis and getting rich off their accident. And finally, it looks like we are finally getting somewhere with Emma and Gio, as their slow-burn romance is finally taking off. Gio finally confesses his feelings for Emma, which has been a long time coming. Will he scare her off? Or will Emma also confess her feelings for Gio? General Hospital spoilers reveal that Michael Corinthos will get snubbed as Veronica Ronny Bard scores the Q Mansion. Monica Quartermain's will reading is going to end in shock, so we should discuss all the drama that's brewing. At the Quartermain residence, everyone will gather to hear Monica's final wishes in GH's October 6th episode. Alexis Davis will kick off the will reading, but Tracy Quartermain will push her to skip the legalese and get on with it. After Alexis agrees to skip over the provisions made for Yuri and the staff, she'll talk about the trust funds that Monica established for all her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Brooklyn Quartermain will also get Monica's pearl necklace, while Ned Quartermain gets her classic vinyl collection. Olivia Quartermain will receive Monica's gourmet cookware as well. Ronny will get one of Monica's oldest and most cherished possessions, which will be a locket containing a photo of them as kids before they were separated. This will delight Tracy, since she'll assume Ronny isn't getting a big windfall. However, Tracy will be in for a rude awakening in more ways than one. Monica will leave Tracy a jar of Lila Quartermain's pickled relish, so that'll bring back some bad memories of when Edward Quartermain cut her out of his will and left her a jar of the same thing. Tracy will be offended and baffled over Monica's decision before Alexis turns her attention to Jason Morgan, who will receive Alan Quartermain's favorite watch. Jason will also meet Ronny before Alexis announces that Monica has bequeathed Michael the horses, cars, and family yacht. Although Tracy will fully expect Michael to get the Quartermain mansion too, that's not how this will reading will conclude. And as for the rest, residue and remainder of my estate, which includes the property at 66 Harborview Drive, I leave it all to the cherished sister of my heart, Ms. Veronica Bard. Alexis will read aloud. What? Ronny will exclaim while Tracy and the others look equally stunned over this big twist. Of course, this has scam written all over it, and is most likely Martin Gray's way of getting revenge on Tracy. It's worth mentioning that furious Drew Kane won't be included in the will, and seemingly won't be involved in whatever Martin's cooked up, at least not yet. General Hospital spoilers say Tracy will fume over Michael getting snubbed and may suspect something's off here, so stay tuned for updates on any other jaw-dropping news to come. General Hospital spoilers reveal that GH alum Charles Masur recently blamed the toxic work environment for his exit and dragged Laura Wright into some ex-Brennan drama on social media. The trouble started when Charles Masur decided to quote an old ex-post of Laura Wright's from back in February. Masur felt the need to set the record straight, but his comments prompted some confusion. Wright's original post highlighted a TV Insider article and welcomed Chris McKenna to the role of Jack Brennan. In the replies, Laura Wright pointed out it was Charles Masur's choice to depart the show. When a fan wondered why Masur wanted to go, Wright said she thought it was explained in the article. Here's where things get tricky since the article simply confirmed that Masur chose to leave. It didn't elaborate on why, nor did it offer any negativity toward Masur whatsoever. Masur must have been thinking of another article with a false narrative since he chose to slam it and drag Wright into a social media mess in the process. Not true. The article completely misrepresents an old and irrelevant interview. In fact, I loved every aspect of the work on GH and loved working with every scene partner. I'm proud of every single scene we did with the Brennan character, Masur said in a post on October 1st. Masur then spilled the real reason for his exit, which involved backstage issues rather than the work itself. However, I hated every aspect of the toxic, borderline sinister backstage politics on GH, Masur revealed. Since Masur's comments caused quite a stir, he decided to clarify things in a follow-up post on October 2nd. After Masur acknowledged that many of his colleagues were very happy in the GH environment, he insisted he was happy for them and didn't judge. That said, Masur's personal experience was one that he just couldn't tolerate. I left GH because, very personally and very subjectively, I found what I can only describe as the backstage politics to be disturbing and unprecedented, and so damaging to the work that I felt unable to continue, Masur said. It's clear that Masur did what was right for him, so now viewers finally have an explanation for that abrupt Jack Brennan recast news that shocked the soap world. General Hospital spoilers say Brennan will face more obstacles now that Chris McKenna has settled into the role, so stay tuned for updates on all the chaos. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Maxie Jones may wake up and say that's not Nathan West. Has Kirsten Storms' return story already been locked in? Although Storms is taking a break from the show to get settled following her move to Tennessee, she hasn't left GH forever. This is just a temporary thing, so fans can expect Storms to step back into the role of Maxie down the road. Many viewers have been disappointed over the timing since Ryan Pavey is finally back, while Kirsten Storms is off-screen. However, it could work in the story's favor now that we've seen Britt Westbourne's reaction to Nathan's survival. Britt was clearly uneasy over her reunion with Nathan and knows more than she's telling Liesl Obrecht or Nina Reeves. Based on Nathan's look after his awkward embrace with Britt, it seems like he's keeping secrets too. Things obviously aren't quite as they appear to be, so it's possible we're dealing with a brainwashing situation or that someone like Cesar Faison or Peter August has taken over Nathan's body. Regardless, there are huge signs that Nathan isn't really Nathan. Liesl and Nina want so badly for this to be Nathan that they're embracing him as the real deal. But that may not be the case with Maxie when the time comes. Back when Felicia Scorpio first found out about this wild twist, she suggested the one person who could figure out if that was really Nathan was in a coma. The writers may have already been hinting about the next Maxie chapter of this storyline, which will come after Kirsten Storms' eventual return to the show. There'll come a day when Maxie will open her eyes and return to her loved ones, so they'll presumably be excited to offer updates on Nathan being alive. Nathan may end up rushing to Maxie's bedside for a reunion, only for her to see right through his charade. Maxie might know instantly that it's not Nathan and feel it in her bones that they've all been duped somehow. It'll bring an awfully dramatic moment if Maxie awakens and refuses to accept this is Nathan, no matter what the fingerprints and DNA results claim. General Hospital spoilers say Maxie could play a key part in exposing some Nathan deception, so stay tuned for all the jaw-dropping news to come. Drew Kane has made an enemy of nearly everyone on General Hospital, so much so that someone plugged him twice with bullets, but the wily congressman managed to somehow survive, awakening with only revenge on his mind. In real life, Drew's portrayer, Cameron Matheson, faced the unthinkable when the LA wildfires destroyed his house and nearly everything he owned. But the actor recently reminded fans that even in devastation, some treasures can be brought back to life. General Hospital's Cameron Matheson shared an emotional update about his 1965 Mustang Fastback, a family gem nearly destroyed by the fire. He wrote, "Our '65 Mustang Fastback didn't escape the fires untouched. Paint cracked, tires melted, and it looked like we might lose it for good. Thankfully, insurance stepped in, and we're slowly bringing her back to life. Swipe through to see the journey. What was cooked in the flames is now on the road to being restored. Excited to share the progress as she shines again." The 1965 Mustang is a landmark in American automotive history, as it launched the pony car era by blending sporty style with affordability, and became an enduring symbol of freedom, youth, and the open road. The photos that he attached told the story as much as his words. Some of them showed the Mustang being stripped down at a restoration shop, with parts of it taped off. You could see the mechanics sanding and prepping it with primer, while important things like the windows were carefully masked off to prevent further damage. Ultimately, the scars of the fire were chipped away, and a few images showed the Mustang in her full glory. Sky blue with white racing stripes gleaming once again, parked under tall California palms. The General Hospital star himself posed proudly beside the classic car, leaning against it with a grin that said everything about second chances. The post drew an avalanche of comments from fans and friends alike, many celebrating not just the car's revival, but the symbolism of restoration in Matheson's life. Former General Hospital star Wes Ramsey wrote, "Wow, she'll be gorgeous all over again." @TPatrick60 added, "A majestic comeback," while @DMB616 said, "That is awesome. Can't wait for you to get it back on the road." Others shared the same excitement. @Mary Vasilakos cheered, "Great to hear you've been able to restore it. She's a beauty, Cax." And @Lovan recalled, "I was thinking about this car the other day and wondering whatever happened to it. I remember you driving off that day to evacuate, and this beauty was in the driveway. Glad you are able to have it restored." The outpouring continued, with @67bullet inviting Matheson on a Mustang run to Palm Springs, and @CMHD03 sharing their own heartbreak about losing a '73 Mustang decades ago. @Carrie E.M. Murray put it best, "I think this is more than just a car restoration. It is emblematic of restoring much of the life you lost. This is a great beginning. Thank you for sharing it with us." From emojis of flames and hearts to long stories of their own classic cars, fans turned the comments into a celebration of survival and second chances. For Matheson, his Mustang's return to the road isn't just about horsepower, it's proof that beauty really can rise from the ashes. General Hospital spoilers reveal that at least 6 October surprises are coming up. So let's talk about some major love story developments ahead. Some GH duos will grow closer, while others face hurdles, so fans won't want to miss all the excitement. After Ava Jerome knocks Rick Lansing unconscious again and helps Alexis Davis regain the upper hand, he'll find himself being held hostage in the basement once more. Fortunately, Rick won't be totally alone since he'll have a dream version of Elizabeth Baldwin to keep him company. Liz will indeed come to Rick in his dreams and perhaps say all the things he's longing to hear. Next, Giovanni Gio Palmieri will make a moving confession about how he truly feels. Emma Scorpio Drake has captured Gio's heart, so he'll admit his feelings and send her heart soaring too. Of course, Gio and Emma's recent kiss said a lot about their mutual attraction, but their bond runs deeper than that. Emma and Gio should be on the same page about letting their friendship keep blossoming into something more romantic. As for Portia Robinson and Isaiah Gannon, they'll decide to take a private trip together, most likely to Isaiah's cabin. We'll see Isaiah and Portia go on a sweet getaway. So could this be when Portia will deliver the news that she's pregnant? Portia indeed has a baby storyline ahead of her, so stay tuned for updates on how that'll affect her future. Meanwhile, Sonny Corinthos will prove he can be quite charming when he wants to be. After Sonny kicks his flirting up a notch, ADA Justine Turner will be powerless to stop what's happening between them. It's true that some manipulation is going on here, but Justine seems poised to fall under Sonny's spell anyway and may struggle to fight the flying sparks. Elsewhere, Jason Morgan will give Britt Westbourne a shock. So could this involve a planted kiss or perhaps a romantic gesture? Jason might make his lingering feelings for Britt crystal clear with his upcoming move and further complicate her life. Now she's dealing with all the Nathan West return drama. Over with Jack Brennan, he'll have to do some damage control when it comes to Carly Spencer. Carly will inevitably discover that S. Vaughn is Brennan's replacement for Colette Moreau, so she'll flip out when she realizes Jocelyn Jacks was entangled with someone from the WSB. The fact that Brennan stood by and let that Jocelyn Vaughn romance play out without saying a word should leave Carly fuming. Brennan's secret-keeping will already be taking a toll on his relationship with Carly, but she won't even know the worst part since Jocelyn herself is an agent as well. Although Brennan should manage to smooth things over for now, a far bigger blow-up should be brewing after Carly uncovers Jocelyn's own WSB status down the road. General Hospital spoilers say all these GH duos will face some changes, so stay tuned. When she's not playing Molly, the assistant district attorney on General Hospital, Kristen Vaganos is flexing her acting and filmmaking skills in several different ways. 2 short films that Vaganos stars in are being released in the near future, and both of them show off her dramatic acting skills. The first is Inferno, which is produced by Hot Lunch Productions, which shared an Instagram post promoting the film. It was captioned "A former criminal, a junior FBI investigator, and a string of unsolved murders in the Metro Detroit area," based on high-drama procedurals like True Detective. Inferno gives us not only a high-stakes case to investigate, but also 2 compelling characters to go on a journey together. What do you guys think? True Detective Season 5? Vaganos and co-star Del Iswar, who is also an executive producer, are shown watching a film projector showing evidence and discussing it. Her General Hospital TV parents, Rick Hurst and Nancy Lee Grahn, both liked the post. Another film, Paradox, will be screening in New York City at the Soho International Film Festival, October 10th. The logline says, "A true crime podcast host is faced with a moral dilemma. Uncover the truth and deal with the consequences, or bury it." Vaganos shared the film's new trailer on her Instagram. Vaganos plays the podcast host, wearing glasses and headphones in the movie's trailer. Her character is apparently unable to walk and needs a cane to move around, and the trailer seems to show that while in this condition, she will face the murderer she is investigating. Paradox received the Bronze Award for Best Crime Short at the 2024 Independent Shorts Awards. It also stars Bobby Stevenson and Montgomery Morrow and is produced by No Tomorrow and Melodrama Media. That is in addition to a recent film called Ramona at Midlife, which is about a single mother who discovers that her unflattering current reality is the subject of a filmmaker's new project. According to her IMDb, Vaganos is working on 4 other short films currently in production. She also regularly appears in comedy skits produced by the group The Content Machine. Still, she continues to excel at her day job as Molly on General Hospital. Vaganos has shown plenty of comedic chops as Molly gets closer to romance with Cody Bell. And plenty of drama when Molly lost her sister Sam and her baby Irene, which was carried by her sister Christina. There will be more opportunities for fireworks in the future, as it seems to be only a matter of time before Molly finds out that not only did Christina almost kill her father Rick by cutting the brake line in his car by accident, but Christina and their mother have been keeping Rick captive in the basement. No doubt, Vaganos will give us some intense performances when that happens. A chilling silence has descended upon Port Charles, and for the millions of loyal viewers of ABC's General Hospital, it's deafening. In recent weeks, the once unflappable rhythm of the nation's longest-running soap opera has been shattered by unexpected preemptions and scheduling blackouts. What began as a mere inconvenience has now spiraled into a full-blown crisis, fueled by rampant rumors that the show's crucial broadcast and streaming contract with Hulu has been voided. With no official word from ABC or Hulu, fans have been left in the dark, consumed by a growing dread that this isn't just a technical glitch, it's an existential threat. The lack of communication has turned social media into a hotbed of paranoia and fear. On Twitter, Reddit, and fan forums, the whispers have grown into a roar of frustration. For a fan base that has weathered decades of cast changes and storyline upheavals, this feels different. It echoes the traumatic final days of fellow soaps All My Children and One Life to Live, where vague reassurances and unexplained hiatuses preceded their ultimate cancellation. Viewers are haunted by the possibility that history is repeating itself, transforming their daily escape into a source of constant anxiety as they obsessively refresh their screens, hoping for a resolution that never comes. The timing of this disruption couldn't be more devastating, as multiple high-stakes storylines have been left jammed at their peak. The aftermath of Monica Quartermain's death and the explosive reading of her will, an arc poised to redefine the entire dynasty, is now stuck in limbo. Jason Morgan's monumental return, forcing a choice between his life as Sonny's enforcer and his birthright as a Quartermain, remains agonizingly unresolved. Furthermore, the venomous feud between Nina and Willow was escalating toward a climactic confrontation, but the narrative has stalled, leaving viewers cheated of a payoff that was months in the making. This blockage is crippling the show's momentum. The suspense of these carefully crafted cliffhangers is dissolving into viewer resentment. With the rumored introduction of new characters also indefinitely postponed, the world of Port Charles feels stagnant and suffocated. Fans know the scripts have been written and the scenes have been filmed, yet the stories remain locked away. This has created a unique torment. The drama is happening just out of reach, leaving its audience stranded. Ultimately, this crisis extends beyond missed episodes. In the harsh economic landscape of modern television, where streaming contracts are vital for a show's financial viability, the loss of a major partner like Hulu could be catastrophic. Insiders speculate that this is more than a simple dispute. It's a sign that daytime dramas are becoming too expensive to sustain in the streaming age. Without the accessibility and revenue from a digital platform, the long-term survival of General Hospital is in serious jeopardy. For now, Port Charles remains a ghost town on our screens. The greatest cliffhanger is no longer about a character's fate, but about the show's very existence. Until ABC breaks its silence, fans are left to grapple with one terrifying question: is this how it ends? Not with a bang, but with a haunting, indefinite fade to black. General Hospital spoilers reveal that GH alum Charles Mazur recently blamed the toxic work environment for his exit and dragged Laura Wright into some ex-Brennan drama on social media. The trouble started when Charles Mazur decided to quote an old ex-post of Laura Wright's from back in February. Mazur felt the need to set the record straight, but his comments prompted some confusion. Wright's original post highlighted a TV Insider article and welcomed Chris McKenna to the role of Jack Brennan. In the replies, Laura Wright pointed out it was Charles Mazur's choice to depart the show. When a fan wondered why Mazur wanted to go, Wright said she thought it was explained in the article. Here's where things get tricky, since the article simply confirmed that Monsieur chose to leave. It didn't elaborate on why, nor did it offer any negativity toward Monsieur whatsoever. Monsieur must have been thinking of another article with a false narrative since he chose to slam it and drag Wright into a social media mess in the process. Not true. The article completely misrepresents an old and irrelevant interview. In fact, I loved every aspect of the work on GH and loved working with every scene partner. I'm proud of every single scene we did with the Brennan character, Monsieur said in a post on October 1st. Monsieur then spilled the real reason for his exit, which involved backstage issues rather than the work itself. However, I hated every aspect of the toxic, borderline sinister backstage politics on GH, Monsieur revealed. Since Monsieur's comments caused quite a stir, he decided to clarify things in a follow-up post on October 2nd. After Monsieur acknowledged that many of his colleagues were very happy in the GH environment, he insisted he was happy for them and didn't judge. That said, Monsieur's personal experience was one that he just couldn't tolerate. I left GH because, very personally and very subjectively, I found what I can only describe as the backstage politics to be disturbing and unprecedented, and so damaging to the work that I felt unable to continue, Monsieur said. It's clear that Monsieur did what was right for him, so now viewers finally have an explanation for that abrupt Jack Brennan recast news that shocked the soap world. General Hospital spoilers say Brennan will face more obstacles now that Chris McKenna has settled into the role, so stay tuned for updates on all the chaos. General Hospital finds Rick Lansing, held captive by Ava Jerome, Christina Corinthos Davis, and Alexis Davis, and they believe he's completely under their control. However, this week marks a turning point as Rick breaks free and confronts Alexis, knife in hand, leaving her in terror. After Ava administered a sleeping pill to Rick, she left Alexis to her work. She was assuming Rick was securely restrained in the basement. This task was related to Monica Quartermain's upcoming will reading. Unbeknownst to them, Rick had been working on loosening his restraints, and finally escaped after Ava's departure. The situation escalates dramatically when Rick sneaks up on Alexis, holding a knife to her throat as she relaxes on the sofa. This terrifying ordeal is likely to trigger PTSD in Alexis. It may remind her of a similar traumatic experience with her late ex-husband, Julian Jerome. Adding to the trauma, Alexis also witnessed Helena Cassadine murder her mother years ago, a brutal act involving a dagger to the throat. Despite the shock of Rick's escape, spoilers suggest Ava has impeccable timing. It's predicted that Ava will return to Alexis's house and find Rick menacing her with a knife. Given Ava's fierce nature, it's highly probable she'll intervene. She may overpower Rick and save Alexis. Known for her resourcefulness, Ava might even be carrying a concealed weapon, a tactic she's employed before. It's anticipated that Ava and Alexis will manage to subdue Rick and drag him back to the basement and secure him with double the duct tape and a ball gag. While Rick's escape attempt is thwarted, his time in captivity may not be over. He has a significant amount of karmic retribution to face, and this attack on Alexis is unlikely to lead to his immediate release on General Hospital. Once Rick is secured, there's a possibility that someone else might discover his captivity in Alexis's basement before his captors decide to release him. The question remains, would this discoverer set him free or leave him to his fate? It's highly likely that someone will find Rick. So, perhaps they'll hear noises from the basement and investigate, only to be shocked by the sight of Rick bound and gagged. Sonny Corinthos, who is often at Alexis's place, could be a potential discoverer. Given his animosity towards his half-brother Rick, Sonny would likely find the situation amusing and leave him to his predicament, perhaps even telling Alexis, "Good job!" Carly Corinthos Spencer might also visit Alexis, especially since both are suspects in Drew Kane Quartermain's shooting. If Carly were to find Rick, it would be a moment of ultimate irony. Viewers may recall Rick holding a pregnant Carly captive in 2003, attempting to steal her baby. Carly would undoubtedly relish seeing Rick in such a vulnerable state, a fitting karmic payback. Other potential discoverers include Jason Morgan, Michael Corinthos, and Nina Reeves. Jason would likely roll his eyes and walk away. Michael, while possibly asking questions, would not alert the authorities or help Rick. Nina, being best friends with Ava, would also likely find the situation amusing and leave Rick to his fate, possibly even joking about it. The best-case scenario for Rick would be if Molly Lansing Davis discovered him, as she might be the only one with close ties to his captors who would consider releasing him. However, most people in Port Charles harbor ill feelings towards Rick. Elizabeth Weber might potentially help Rick, but the odds of her finding him are low, as she doesn't frequent Alexis's house. The worst-case scenario for Ava, Alexis, and Christina would be if Anna Devane, Dante Falconeri, or Chase discovered Rick during their investigation into Drew's shooting. While they might untie Rick, they might also choose to ignore the situation, similar to how they previously overlooked Michael's assault on Drew. General Hospital spoilers are in for Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Fans can expect Ava Jerome to stop Rick Lansing. Veronica Ronny Bard makes a vow to Sonny Corinthos. Plus, James West bonds with Nathan West. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the ABC soap opera. Let's start off with Rick. Fans know that he didn't swallow the sedative that he was given by Ava Jerome. Then, Rick undid his binds and put a knife to Alexis Davis' throat. Lucky for Alexis, Ava comes in at the right time. The blonde manages to knock out Rick again. However, when Rick lands on the floor, is he dead or alive? Over at the Quartermain mansion, Sonny has a chat with Ronny. Since Ronny is new in town and nobody has heard of her, the mob boss might have some questions. Then, Ronny tells Sonny that she's not about to get run off by someone like Tracy Quartermain. Even though Tracy is certain that Michael Corinthos gets the house, could there be a twist? General Hospital spoilers for Friday, October 3rd. Reveal some leaked scenes showed up on Blue Sky. One includes Michael and Tracy. After Michael tells her to call the police if he doesn't believe her, they do find some common ground. Tracy talks about how she's on a mission to protect Michael because Monica loved him so much. It's a rather touching scene. There is also another leaked scene that features Nathan and James. Slowly, the little boy opens the hospital room door. After exchanging an awkward greeting, James announces he got him a soda, but didn't know what kind he liked. Nathan is really sweet with the boy and finds common ground through soda. I just hope that Nathan is the real deal, or this will be gut-wrenching for the little boy. The next episode will also include Carly Spencer facing off with Anna Devane. The blonde says, "Do your job and stop pinning it on the obvious suspects." Plus, Britt Westbourne warns Damian Spinelli that Maxie Jones wouldn't be okay with this. However, James is already meeting Nathan, so if Britt has a reason why, she needs to spit it out quickly. Later, Britt is confronted by Elizabeth Liz Baldwin. On Friday, the hallowed halls of the Quartermain mansion were thick with tension as the family gathered for the reading of Monica's will. The collective assumption was a foregone conclusion. Michael Corinthos, the steadfast and responsible scion, would inherit the bulk of the family fortune. Seen as the most suitable heir to carry on Monica's legacy with prudence and care, his ascension seemed all but guaranteed. However, in Port Charles, nothing is ever that simple. The proceedings took a dramatic turn thanks to Olivia Quartermain. With a cryptic smile and words laced with mystery, she hinted that the will contained a truly explosive secret. Her enigmatic demeanor sent a ripple of unease through the room, suggesting she knew something that could upend everything. Speculation immediately ran rampant. Could Olivia, not Michael, be the named heir to Monica's vast estate? The mere possibility was enough to send a shockwave through the room, hitting a stunned Tracy Quartermain with the force of a physical blow. As whispers filled the air, some viewers even theorized that Olivia might have forged the document, manipulating the terms in her own favor. Adding fuel to the fire, Drew Kane was consumed with anger and disappointment upon realizing he was deliberately excluded from the reading. Left to wonder why he was snubbed while others stood to benefit from Monica's generosity, Drew's sense of betrayal has set the stage for yet another layer of conflict. The battle lines have been drawn, and the fight for the Quartermain inheritance has only just begun. The days ahead promise a storm of legal disputes, bitter rivalries, and stunning revelations that will undoubtedly alter the course of many lives. Meanwhile, a ghost from the past cast a long shadow over General Hospital. Britt Westbourne was visibly shaken upon seeing Nathan West, but her reaction was more fear than relief. The show is strongly hinting that Britt is aware of a complex and terrifying possibility. The man wearing Nathan's face may be a sinister imposter. While Nathan's return should be a miracle, the emergence of a villainous version is a nightmare scenario. Britt's terror is palpable, focused on one thing: protecting her nephew James from a man who could be his father in appearance only. Elsewhere, Jocelyn Jax is fighting to protect her own secrets. While she trusts Jason Morgan to keep quiet about her dangerous new job as a clandestine agent, she has zero confidence that Britt will do the same. In a desperate move to prevent her cover from being blown, Jocelyn confronts Britt directly, pleading with her to maintain her silence. Amidst the chaos, a flicker of romance offers a moment of hope. Curtis Ashford and Portia Robinson have officially decided to embark on a romantic journey together. But in a town like Port Charles, can any love story truly have a happy ending? As the autumn chill descends on Port Charles, the romantic forecast is heating up with seismic shifts in the city's most complex relationships. This October, secrets will unravel and passions will ignite, leading to the formation of 6 dynamic couples who are set to change everything. First, Gio's difficult journey of self-acceptance takes a romantic turn. As he slowly comes to terms with his true identity and begins to integrate with his family, it's Emma who remains his constant anchor. Her unwavering encouragement has been the one stable force in his chaotic world. What began as a deep friendship, forged in turmoil, is now blossoming into something more. A pivotal moment of mutual understanding will lead them to finally confess their feelings, sealing the start of their new journey with a sweet, long-awaited kiss. Meanwhile, with her tumultuous marriage to Curtis finally over, Portia is ready to take control of her own happiness. She proactively suggests to Isaiah that they make their relationship official, a move he seems more than ready to embrace. Isaiah was her steadfast support system during her marital uncertainty, and now that she is free, they can finally step out into the open and explore their powerful connection without reservation. However, a tangled web is re-emerging between Willow, Drew, and Chase. Though Willow has decided to reunite with Drew, Chase's integrity may force her to reconsider. Convinced that Willow is a victim of Drew Kane's manipulation, Chase is determined to expose a shocking truth: that it was Drew who bribed Judge Eva. This heroic act of honesty is bound to reawaken Willow's heart to Chase's fundamental kindness. This revelation comes as Chase's own marriage to Brooke Lynn is on shaky ground, leading him to seek comfort from his former love. With lingering sparks between them, a reunion for Chillo seems more possible than ever. Elsewhere, Michael Corinthos is in desperate need of an alibi, and he finds a potential, albeit complicated, solution in Justina. What starts as a calculated arrangement, a fake relationship for mutual benefit, may soon ignite with real chemistry. Michael's inherent kindness seems to penetrate Justina's wild and reckless exterior, revealing a softer, more vulnerable side to her personality that no one has seen before. Their staged interactions are quickly becoming genuine, suggesting this fabricated romance could become very real. Then there's the reunion fans have been waiting for: Jason and Britt. The love they share has never truly faded, despite the years and the heartbreak. While Britt still wears a mask of anger over Jason leaving her to marry Carly, the undeniable pull between them is palpable. It's only a matter of time before her pride gives way to the powerful feelings she still has for him. Finally, with Portia finding new love, Curtis is left to confront his own unresolved feelings. For years, his emotional compass has pointed toward Jordan. She has always been the one he turns to in times of crisis, his ultimate confidant. The deep care they have for each other is undeniable, and all signs point to an inevitable and emotional reunion. General Hospital spoilers hint that angry Britt Westbourne may say 6 words to Nathan West and warn her boss now that some James West alarm bells are going off. Britt had a weird reunion with Nathan at the hospital, so it's evident that there's more going on here than meets the eye. Nathan's expression seemed a bit odd as well in the end, so there's a good chance he's keeping secrets right along with Britt. The show still hasn't revealed who Britt's mystery boss is, but it seems likely that it's Nathan, or at least whatever version of him this happens to be. It's possible Cesar Faison or Peter August's memories have been implanted into Nathan, or something along those lines. Regardless, this Nathan doesn't exactly appear to be the real thing, despite the DNA and fingerprint proof. Britt seemingly knows this isn't the Nathan that his loved ones remember, so that's presumably why she's acting so on edge. Of course, James has never met his father, but he looked ready for that first meeting when he stepped off the elevator at GH. Britt, on the other hand, looked horrified at the thought of an innocent child being dragged into whatever drama she's got going on with Nathan. Since Britt won't be able to block Nathan and James from having this first contact, she'll just have to settle for confronting Nathan in the aftermath. All signs point to that happening, since General Hospital spoilers say Britt will take a harsh stance in the coming episodes. We'll see Britt get rather aggressive over something she's not happy about, so that may be the result of this James interaction. That brings us to the 6 words angry Britt may say to Nathan soon enough. James doesn't deserve to get hurt. If Britt fears this will all end in disaster, she may try to deter Nathan from bonding with James. Britt may demand to know why Nathan even showed his face in Port Charles, and why he's apparently pulling this whole charade. Nathan might argue that he had to improvise after the crash, and could potentially blame Britt if he's the one who delivered her medication. Perhaps Nathan came to Port Charles to make that delivery and didn't anticipate wrecking his truck or the GH crisis that followed. Regardless, what's done is done, so now Nathan may intend on fully playing the part, and that means getting to know James whether Britt likes it or not. General Hospital spoilers say Britt will fear terrible news now that all this Nathan chaos has erupted, so stay tuned for updates on what she'll do next. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!